Hi and welcome back to BookTube with Amy. So this is going to be another reading vlog, and I'm going to be reading The Wicked King by Holly Black, which is the second book in the Folk of the Air series. I vlogged my experience of reading The Cruel Prince and it was such a ride, so I thought that I would vlog the second one as well and see how we go. So if you haven't checked out my first vlog, go check that out just now, and then you can come back and we can read this one together. So what I'm most excited for going into the second one is actually seeing how Jude and Cardan's relationship goes. I just don't know if he's going to be looking for revenge based on how, you know, the first book ended, and I don't know if Jude is going to try to get into his good graces a bit more, if she's going to try and have a really amicable relationship with Cardan to, you know, benefit the kingdom. I don't know how it's going to go, so I'm really excited to see that, and I'm hoping for a wee bit more political intrigue. I love that in my fantasy books, and it was such a great element in these books. It was one of the elements that I thoroughly enjoyed from the first one, The Cruel Prince, so I'm hoping for more of that. I'm hoping that we still get to see how things are going on Earth with Jude's sister and brother. I'm hoping that that's not just going to be completely and utterly forgotten about, but I guess time will tell. I'm really looking forward to going into this. I'm excited for it. I have some sprints later on this evening, so I'm hoping to get a good chunk of this read then, and I'll catch up with you on my thoughts. So I didn't update you on my thoughts on The Wicked King so far last night, because after sprints I went straight to bed because I am really about 77 at heart. So it was too late at night for me to come and form any type of sentence to let you know what I'm thinking. So I'm only up to chapter 4 so far. That's as far as I've read. So Maddock isn't dead and I was fully expecting going into this one that he would be dead and would be potentially dealing with the fallout of that, and the fact that he isn't dead is actually going to make it even more interesting. I'm really excited to see how that plays out, because I don't think he's going to take too kindly to the fact that Jude managed to one-up him, but then also he'll know that Jude was able to potentially kill him and she's chosen not to, so maybe he'll be a bit grateful. Who knows? That's going to be a really interesting dynamic to see play out. Cardan so far just seems to be living the dream wee prince life, getting all the spoils and having to do none of the work, whereas Jude is having to, you know, put a graft in. And I'm actually really enjoying it. I liked being back and finding out that she was sort of running the show in the Shadow Court. That's really interesting, and I like that already we're seeding through it that she's struggling to think about potentially having to give up all this power, because it's the only thing she has ever really wanted. So I'm finding it really interesting so far. My plans for today are to get a decent chunk read. I'd like to maybe be about halfway through by the time I come back to catch it up later on. I have some stuff that I need to do around the house, and I'm going to cook and bake a wee bit later, so I'm going to do some audibly. I'm going to listen to the audiobook and then I'll come and catch it up with my thoughts. So I have read up to chapter 15, which is about 130 pages, just shy of halfway so far, and I am enjoying it. I just feel like nothing's really happened yet. I'm hoping that it kicks off in the next section that I read. Otherwise, I think it's going to be like middle book syndrome, where loads of stuff happens in the first. The second book's just a wee bit meh, and then like it all picks up again for the end. So we'll see how we go. I am really enjoying Jude. I mean, as always, she's my gal. Love her. I think that again there's this real theme of her struggling and, you know, no quite knowing the decisions that future her's going to make because she's got all this power, and I just find that so interesting because I think that specifically female MCs in YA fantasy, they're just so goody and they do exactly what is expected of them, and Jude is like, look mate, this is a decision I would make now, don't know what decision I'll make in the future though, and I just think that that's great that she is a wee bit morally ambiguous. I am loving it. I don't have any strong feelings on Carden again at this point. Like, again, he's not really doing much other than drinking and seducing girls, so like it's difficult to really have an opinion on that. I'm hoping that we're going to get some really good Carden character development in this book later on, because like I feel like nothing's really happening yet, and we're just sort of in this wee limbo where I'm waiting for like the plot to kick off. Whereas I feel like on the back of the first book we could have just been like right into some nitty gritty plot. I am interested that the sea fairies are getting involved. I don't remember what they're actually called, so we'll just call them sea fairies. That was something that I says as soon as they were mentioned in the first book that I hope they have made to do with the story, because like we all know I am obsessed with mermaids, and like if I can't have a mermaid in this book, like I'll take a sea fairy. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm hoping that the Queen of the Sea Fairies causes some drama, and she's in it a wee bit, because I think that that'll be really interesting politically as well, considering that there's been this land sea alliance for so long. I think it would be really interesting for that to be broken and for there to be a bit of a war happening, because I don't feel like Carden will take lightly to being told who he can and cannot marry, especially considering Jude sort of has him in a hold where he needs to do pretty much everything that she says for the next year anyway. So I think that if he has any opportunity to rebel, he is probably going to take it. I am not trusting Taryn, Jude's sister. She's came back onto the scene and she's like, oh, let's be best pals again, and I'm just not really trusting that, and I will never trust Locke. I didn't trust him from the beginning, so I'm not going to trust him. So I think that they could potentially be up to something a bit dodge, but I don't really have any idea what yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to read any more of this today or if it will be tomorrow, but I will catch you up at some point with my thoughts. Hi and welcome back to vlog day 3. So I am up to chapter 21, which is just over 204 pages, just sort of over halfway through. So I feel like it's still a bit weird. Like I still don't feel like much is really happening. Like we obviously had the Carden and Jude scene. And can I tell you that like there was a particular Seether song that was just like stuck in my head after I read that scene, and if you know, you know. But I was like, I don't know, I don't know how I felt about it, because I obviously do ship them, and I had says at the end of the last one like I would ship them, and I think I still do. But I'm finding it hard to trust either of their intentions at the moment, and so I don't know how they genuinely are feeling about each other just now. I can't tell if Carden is just trying to seduce Jude a bit so that he has some sort of control and some sort of power, and maybe he thinks that he'll be able to influence her more if, you know, she is goo in love with him. And I can't tell if Jude is really in love or if she's just taking a wee bit of a fancy and she's enjoying the power, and he's sort of feel like the most powerful person that she can sleep with. So I'm a bit conflicted about it, because I do want them to be together, but I want them to be together like in the right way. So we'll see. In terms of plot, no a huge amount is happening. It's sort of feel like the countdown to the wedding, which like is fine, but I just hope like we get there soon so that I get a few decent chapters of plot, because I definitely feel like most of this book so far has been filler. I don't really feel like there's been a huge need. I am so pleased that we've got Oak back, and we got to, you know, go spend some time with him in the real world, and he's came back to Fairy. I'm really excited about that because I have such a soft spot for Oak, and I don't know why, because like I do not like kids but that wee boy is like right in my heart, and I don't know why. And I'm enjoying, I guess, watching Maddock and Jude sort of verbally spar with each other and be constantly trying to outdo each other. I think that that's interesting, but again, like, it could have been great and we could have also had some plot, so I'm a wee bit disappointed so far. I have a whole bunch of like DIY stuff that I need to get done today. It is going to be a busy one, so I'm planning just to put the audiobook on and maybe get finished today. We'll see how we go, or maybe I'll do a wee bit more and then aim to finish tomorrow. We'll see. But it's a bit of a letdown after the first book. I'm not gonna lie, I am a wee bit disappointed just now. If this like last chunk is really plot heavy and it's like super interesting, then it could save it for me. But at the moment, I'm a wee bit disappointed for going off of the high of the first book into this one. So we'll see. Hi and welcome back to vlog day 4, I think. So I have finished The Wicked King and I'm a bit disappointed. It just didn't hit the spot as much as The Cruel Prince did. I feel like there was just so much of a lull in this book. I feel like we're building and building and building to the, you know, the climax of the Sea Queen and Cardan facing off, and then it was just over within like a sentence or two, which is a bit disappointing because I feel like that was sort of the crux of the book, I guess, and every time we were going to get something really exciting and tantalising like we were in the first book, it was just getting kicked further and further and further away, and then we finally get to it right at the end and it was a wee bit lacklustre. I enjoyed reading from Jude's perspective again. I am still thoroughly enjoying Jude as a character. I totally pegged that their intentions toward each other maybe weren't particularly honest. Cardan is a ball bag. We're back to Amy in the first vlog being like, he's a ball bag. I can't believe he did that to her, and I am pretty pissed off with her. Pretty pissed off. And other than that, I don't feel like there was a huge chunk of character development in this book. I feel like Jude was really well developed, and her development was pushed so much in the first book that in this book, like, it just sort of mirrored that. Like I've said earlier on in the vlogs, I liked the whole, like, morally grey, is she, isn't she going to give up the power thing. And I feel like, other than deciding to trust Cardan, that there wasn't really a lot of character development, and I refuse to count our only character development like as Guy character development. But aye, so I didn't feel like there was a lot of that. I feel like, however, Cardan was a bit more developed in this one. I think that we got to see him be both really vulnerable and also really strong, like the most vulnerable he's ever been and the strongest he's ever been. So I did enjoy that, but I think that I would enjoy it more if I was like getting stuff from his perspective maybe, as opposed to him having to, like, I guess, monologue whatever he's feeling to Jude. So I wish that that was something we had, because I think that that would be really cool. I enjoyed the twists and turns that happened in this book, even if they weren't as surprising as the first book. I think they totally blew me away in the first book because everybody was new to me, and so I was like, I don't know whether to trust you or not. And like, I was sort of proven right with the first book, so I trusted my gut a bit more with the second book. So when I says earlier that I didn't trust Taryn, like, I was right to no trust her. I didn't pick up on Ghost betraying her, so I did like that twist. However, like, and like, I'm needing something else now. Like, the betraying people bit just isn't enough. Like, as much as I am enjoying the political intrigue, like, that was an element of the first book that I really enjoyed, but there was other stuff happening, whereas I felt like in this one it was very, like, politic heavy, and I just need a wee bit more than somebody betraying somebody at this point. I am so disappointed that they have gotten married and they are not in love. Like, my wee heart is like gutted for them. I mean, we all know what I'm like with romance, so the fact that I care is wild to both you and I. But yes, I haven't loved this one as much as I loved the first one. I think that this one would be a 3-star for me. But I will read the third one and finish up the series and see how we go. I'm just hoping that the ending's going to be amazing. I'm going to be so disappointed if it's just a bit dull. I hope that the third one picks back up, because this has made me a wee bit nervous, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I don't have as much to say in this vlog as I did in the first vlog, just because, like, no as much happened, so there's just genuinely less to chat to you about. We'll see how we get on with the third one though, and again, if you would like me to vlog my experience of the third one, please let me know down below. I am having fun vlogging, and it's something a bit new and something a bit different, as opposed to just doing my, well, I guess this is a sit down rambly video, but like, it's about one book. But let me know if you want me to vlog my experience of reading the third one, if you're enjoying the series. No spoilers, but let me know if you've read the series, if the third one picks up a wee bit, because I am like hoping it does. I genuinely have no idea how it's going to end, but I'm excited to see it. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully you're enjoying everything that you're reading at the moment.